By the early 1970s, Volkswagen was at a critical crossroads. Their legendary Beetle, while iconic, was becoming an aging relic in a rapidly modernizing automotive market. The world was facing a global oil crisis, and the demand for fuel-efficient, practical transportation was skyrocketing. Volkswagen's traditional air-cooled rear engine layout was reaching its limits. To survive, the company needed a total reinvention. They launched Project EA337, a secret mission to create a successor that would move away from the past and embrace the future of front-wheel drive technology. This was the moment the Golf was born. It wasn't just a new model. It was a desperate and brilliant gamble to save the company from financial ruin. As the first Golfs rolled off the assembly line in 1974, they carried the weight of the entire brand's future on their compact shoulders. This was the start of a revolution that would change the way we look at small cars forever. To design the Golf, Volkswagen sought the expertise of Giorgetto Giugiaro and his firm, Beetle Design. Giugiaro was a pioneer of the folded paper design language, which favored sharp edges, flat panels, and a clean, minimalist silhouette. This was a radical departure from the rounded, organic curves of the Beetle. Every line on the Mark I Golf was intentional, aimed at maximizing interior volume while maintaining a small exterior footprint. Giugiaro created a design that was both utilitarian and timeless. The car featured a distinctive thick C-pillar and a wide hatch that made it stand out on the road. This folded paper look didn't just define the Golf, it influenced an entire generation of automotive design throughout the 1970s and 80s. Even today, the basic proportions of the Mark I are celebrated for their purity and functional beauty, proving that good design never truly goes out of style.
The biggest shift for VW was the move to a water-cooled, transverse-mounted engine. In the 1974 Golf, the engine was mounted sideways in the front, driving the front wheels. This layout, known as the east-west configuration, was a masterclass in space efficiency. By placing the engine and transmission over the front wheels, VW eliminated the long drive shaft and bulky rear engine compartment found in the Beetle. This allowed for a flat floor and significantly more legroom for passengers. For the 1974 launch, buyers could choose between 1.1-liter and 1.5-liter four-cylinder engines. These engines were tilted toward the rear of the car to create a lower hood line and improve crash safety. This mechanical package set the standard for the modern hatchback, proving that you could have a small car that felt big on the inside. It was a complete departure from everything Volkswagen owners had known for decades.
The 1974 Golf wasn't just a car, it was a tool for living. At a time when most small cars were cramped two-door sedans with tiny trunks, the Golf offered a massive rear hatch. This door opened wide to reveal a cargo area that was incredibly versatile. When the rear bench seat was folded down, the Golf could haul items that were previously impossible for a car of its size, from furniture to bicycles. It was available in both 3-door and 5-door variants, catering to everyone from young professionals to small families. The interior was a triumph of 1970s ergonomics. It featured large windows for excellent visibility and a simple, uncluttered dashboard that put every control within easy reach. This focus on daily usability is what made the Golf an instant hit with commuters. It was the original everything car, blending the utility of a station wagon with the agility of a subcompact. On the road, the 1974 Golf was a breath of fresh air. It was incredibly light, weighing in at roughly 800 kilograms or 1,760 pounds. This low weight meant the car was nimble and responsive, even with its modest power. The 1.5-liter engine produced about 70 horsepower, which could propel the car to a top speed of 100 miles per hour and achieve a 0 to 60 time of about 13 seconds. While those numbers seem modest today, in 1974 they were impressive for an economy hatchback. The car featured McPherson strut front suspension and a torsion beam rear axle, providing a level of handling and comfort that many of its competitors simply couldn't match. Drivers praised the direct feel of the rack and pinion steering and the car's overall stability at highway speeds. It proved that driving an affordable economy car didn't have to be a dull or sluggish experience.
When the Golf arrived in North America in late 1974, Volkswagen decided to give it a new name, the Rabbit. The company felt the name Rabbit conveyed the car's speed and nimbleness better than Golf did for the American audience. The Rabbit was a huge success, but to keep up with demand and avoid import issues, VW eventually opened a manufacturing plant in Westmoreland, Pennsylvania in 1978. This made the Rabbit the first foreign car to be built in the United States in over 50 years. The American market Rabbits were slightly different, often featuring softer suspension tuning and rectangular headlights to satisfy local tastes. Despite these changes, the core DNA of the car remained. It became a favorite for fuel-conscious Americans who were tired of the gas-guzzling V8 giants of the era. The Rabbit didn't just sell well, it became a cultural icon in the US, paving the way for the enthusiast scene that still thrives today.
For the DIY mechanic, the 1974 Golf was a dream. The engine bay was open and uncluttered, making basic tasks like changing spark plugs, oil filters, or adjusting the carburetor remarkably simple. Most components were easily accessible, which was a welcome change for those used to the cramped quarters of other small cars. However, being an early water-cooled car, it did have its challenges. Rust was the biggest enemy of the Mark I, as the steel used at the time wasn't galvanized. Owners had to be diligent about checking for corrosion, especially in salt-heavy regions. The cooling system also required regular attention to prevent overheating, a new concept for longtime Beetle owners. Despite these quirks, the simplicity of the mechanical design meant that many Rabbits and Golfs stayed on the road for hundreds of thousands of miles with just basic hand tools and a little patience. This reliability helped build the Golf's reputation as a dependable daily driver.
While the 1974 launch focused on economy, a group of Volkswagen engineers was working on a secret performance project. In 1976, this project was revealed as the Golf GTI, the world's first true hot hatch. They took the lightweight Mark I body and added a high-performance 1.6-liter engine with Bosch K-Jetronic fuel injection. This boosted output to 110 horsepower, turning the practical commuter into a sports car killer. The GTI featured iconic styling cues like the red-trimmed grille, the golf ball gear knob, and the famous tartan seat upholstery. It was an instant sensation, offering a combination of daily utility and thrilling performance that had never been seen at such an affordable price point. The GTI didn't just add a model to the lineup, it created an entire automotive category that every other manufacturer would eventually follow. It solidified the Golf's status as a car that could be both sensible and incredibly fun.
The impact of the 1974 Golf was felt immediately around the globe. In just 31 months, Volkswagen had produced over 1 million units, a staggering achievement for a brand new model. It was the right car at the right time, offering economy when fuel was expensive and space when families were looking for more practicality. The Golf became a symbol of modern European life, appearing in movies and television as the quintessential city car. By the time the Mark I production ended in Germany in 1983, over 6 million units had been sold worldwide. Its success was so enduring that a version of the car, known as the City Golf, continued to be manufactured in South Africa until 2009. The Golf saved Volkswagen from financial disaster and transformed it into the global powerhouse it is today. It wasn't just a car for the people, it was the car that redefined what a modern vehicle should be.
Today, the Volkswagen Golf is in its 8th generation, but the spirit of the 1974 original is still alive. The Mark I established the blueprint for the modern hatchback, front-wheel drive, a transverse engine, and a practical rear door. Every modern compact car owes a debt to the innovations introduced by the Golf over 50 years ago. For enthusiasts, the 1974 Mark I remains one of the most desirable classic cars, prized for its simple mechanicals and iconic Giugiaro styling. Whether it's a perfectly restored original or a modified street machine, the Mark I continues to inspire new generations of car lovers. It was more than just a replacement for the Beetle. It was a revolution that proved small cars could be stylish, practical, and fun all at the same time. The 1974 Golf didn't just follow the history of the automobile, it wrote a massive new chapter that we are still reading today.